Hello, everybody. What's up? So this is the um, part two of our discussion of the subtopic two, or topic two, which is all about planning. Okay, so from the previous video, we have tackled the what and why of planning and the goals and plans. So we have tackled there anong types of goals, types of plans, kanya. So if you haven't watched the previous video, stop ka muna. And then watch the video first and then proceed with this one. Yan. You don't disappoint me. Really hurts. Okay. So first is all about the approaches to goal setting. Ayan. So, approach to goal setting is ang pinakauna na dyan, yung common, which is the traditional goal setting. So, ang traditional goal setting class is the top managers set goals and then flow down through the organization and become sub-goals for each organizational area. Okay, this is the common kasi, for example, magsiset sila for the university and then papunta sa mga colleges or the campuses, papunta sa college and the department area. Okay, turning broad goals into departmental team individual goals can be a cold and frustrating process. Okay, kasi para mo siyang i-dissect. Yung university goals, alin doon ang i-divide mo for this campus, kanya. Ang example lang natin yung sa university because I'm familiar with it. Okay. Another problem with goal setting is that when top managers define the organization's goals in broad terms, such as achieving sufficient profits or increasing market leadership, those ambiguous or ibig sabihin yung malabing goals have to be more specific as they flow down through the organization. So managers at each level define the goals and apply their own interpretations and biases as they make them more specific. So, syempre, the top managers, dahil nga, ang isa-set nila is for the whole organization, they may set goals that are ambiguous or masyadong general or masyadong broad. Okay, the right term is broad. Okay, so what is the problem with this one? Okay, as you can see, the downside of traditional goal setting is actually nagkakaroon ng or parang nawawalang clarity as the goals make their way down from the top of the organization to lower levels as in this diagram. So, for example, ang top management objective is we need to improve the company's performance. Syempre, yun lang, very ambiguous siya. Paano natin improve yung company's performance? So, the division should set or kumbaga dissect that. Okay? Tapos sabi niya, how I want to see an improvement, significant improvement on this division's profits. Tapos next ulit, increase profits regardless of the means. Don't worry about quality, just work fast. Diba? Parang siya naging ambiguous. Kumbaga parang sa pass the message. Yung the message that will pass through from one person to another, di ba? Sa una, malinaw, ganyan. Pero pagdating sa gitna, parang nag-iba na, lalo na pag mahirap or parang malabo. Yan, what often happens is clarity is lost as the goals make their way down to the top organization to the lower levels as shown in this figure. Okay. So the second approach to goal setting is the management by objective, pero we can actually relate this with means and chain. Higher level goals or ends are linked to lower level goals which serve as the means for their accomplishments. Okay, so ang means and chain is an integrated network of goals in which the accomplishment of goals at one level serves as the means for achieving the goals or ends at the next level. Okay, kumbaga para siyang relay, di ba? So, ano yung sinet doon sa end ng top management, yun yung susunod na gagamitin for the next level. So, kumbaga parang magkaka-connect siya. So, management by objective is a process of setting mutually agreed upon goals and using these goals to evaluate employee performance. So, the MBO programs class have 4 elements: goal specificity, participative decision making, an explicit time period, and performance feedback. So, ano ba ang ginagawa dito? Instead of using goals to make sure employees are doing what they're supposed to be doing, management by objective or MBO uses goals to motivate them as well. The appeal is that it focuses on employees working to accomplish goals they've had a hand in setting. So, usually sa management by objectives class, the goals are jointly set by the top managers and the employees. So, let's learn more about it, about the steps here. Ayan. So, step 1, the organizations should set overall objectives and strategies. Next, micro-objectives are allocated among divisional and departmental units. Kumbaga parang, ang management by objective is based on the objectives. Okay, yung isa-set mo. Unit managers collaboratively set objectives for their units with their managers. Yan. Collaboratively. Specific objectives are collaboratively set with all department members. Action plans are specified and agreed. The action plans are implemented. Progress toward objective is periodically reviewed and feedback is provided. And, of course, meron tayong performance-based rewards. So, kumbaga parang sa scientific method, it uses different steps para mas maging organized yung setting natin ng objectives. Okay. So, what are the characteristics now of well-written goals? Okay. Written in specific outcomes rather than actions. Measurable and quantifiable. Clear as to as time frame. Challenging yet attainable. Written down, communicated to all necessary organizational members. So, for the previous video, I asked you to differentiate goals from objectives. So, ito well-written goals to. Pero, ito hindi to nakasulat siya, I think. But, in order for us to know if an objective is well-written, okay, malalaman natin yun using the criteria SMART. Okay, objectives should be SMART. Okay, ang SMART class, it stands for S, is specific. Okay, pakisulat sa inyong mga notes. M, measurable. A, attainable. R, realistic. And T is time-bound. Kaya kung makikita ninyo, o kung alam niyo na kung ano yung difference ng goals and objectives, okay, ang objective class is mas specific siya kaysa goals. Yung goals is yung general. So, ibig sabihin, one goal, merong mga several objectives. Okay? So, kung mapapansin niyo yung characteristics ng goals ay medyo similar doon sa characteristics ng objective, but mas more on quantifiable din siya, mas measurable, mas specific ka na. Okay. So, next is all about developing plans. I think we are almost done. So, meron tayong different contingency factors in planning. Merong tatlo: organizational level, degree of environmental uncertainty, and length of future commitment. So, isa-isahin natin yan. Okay, ang contingency factor is parang situational factors, parang ganun. Okay. First is all about your organizational level. So, how will you interpret this diagram? Okay. So, bigyan ko kayo ng 3 seconds to answer it in the comment section. Yan. So, ano ang interpretation ng graph na ito? Okay. Sirit na. Sorry. Sige, sulat nyo lang dyan. Pero sasabihin ko na yung sagot. Ayan. You can pause para maisulat ninyo yung tamang sagot or para ma-identify niyo kung tama yung interpretation ninyo. But, as you can see in this diagram class, strategic planning is usually done by top executives rather. At ang operational planning ay yung pababa ng ating managers or yung first level managers. Okay, as you can remember, kaya nga dapat panoorin nyo muna yung part 1, ang strategic plan natin is for the overall organization. Ang operational plan is per unit, per division, ganyan. Okay, so ibig sabihin, strategic planning for top executives or top managers, operational planning is for the lower level managers. Okay, the next contingency factor is all about environmental uncertainty. When uncertainty is high, plans should be specific but flexible. Okay, how can we do that? Okay, so managers must be prepared to change or amend plans as they're implemented. At times, they may have to abandon the plans. So, ang specific class, it should be, kumaga parang walang room for misinterpretation. Okay, at pwedeng-pwede siyang i-flex. Kung nangyari yung sinasabi ko nga nasa location, ganyan. What if biglang umulan sa isang concert na nasa open area? Okay, kailangan meron talagang plan B yan. Okay, so environmental certainty yan eh. Parang COVID-19 din. Actually, sa business, meron tayong tinatawag na business continuity planning wherein in-identify mo yung what if nagkaroon ng bagyo, nagkaroon ng lindol, nagkaroon ng sakuna, nagkaroon ng mga fortuitous event, sabi nga sa law. Okay. Ibig sabihin nun, kailangan mo maging flexible na kung meron kang plan na talaga ito dapat ito na. Hindi, kailangan mo mag-plan. Kailangan mong baguhin yung plan according to the factors na nag-arise. Okay, and the last one, contingency factor is the length of future commitment. So we have this called the commitment concept. So plans should extend far enough to meet those commitments made when the plans were developed. So the third contingency factor class is related to the time frame of plans. Related din siya sa time frame of plans. So this commitment concept says that plans should extend far enough to meet those commitments made when the plans were developed. Planning for too long or for too short of a time period is inefficient and ineffective. So kailangan yung sakto lang talaga for your future commitment. Okay. Yes, we have several planning approaches too. I think this is the last subtopic before we go to the last mini topic before we go to the last subtopic about last topic about contemporary issues. So meron tayong different planning approaches. Okay. Why do you have to study this? It's because development plans is also influenced by planning approach followed, hindi lang yung contingency factors na nabanggit. So the first planning approach that may influence yung pag-develop natin ng plans is the traditional approach. Planning is done entirely by top-level managers who are often assisted by a formal planning department, or a group of planning specialists whose sole responsibility is to help write the various organizational plans. So parang dito sa amin, meron kaming planning coordinator, meron planning director, ganun. So another approach to planning is to involve more organizational members in the approach. In this approach, plans aren't handed out to the one level to the next, but instead are developed by organizational members at the various levels and in the various work units to meet their specific needs. So ito naman is more on collaborative. Okay, so hindi rin ito nabanggit, pero meron kasi akong naalala ng two approaches. Hindi lang sa planning siya ginagamit, pwedeng sa decision making. Okay, number one is yung top-down approach. Okay, top-down approach is wherein ang nagpaplano class or gumagawa ng decisions ay yung ating top-level executives or the top-level managers. Okay? Kaya siya top-down kasi gumagawa sa yung mga nasa taas yung nagde-decide or nagpa-plan, tapos ika-cascade na lang sa baba. Kaya top to down. Okay. Ang pangalawa naman class na is yung ating tinatawag na bottom-up approach. Okay? Tama, bottom-up. Hindi, tama naman. Top-down and bottom-up. Okay? So, ang bottom-up naman is from the lower level, okay? Tapos, yung plans ng lower level is i-approve or sasabihin na lang sa taas. Okay? For siguro mga comments, ganyan. Okay? Ang very important aspect doon is sa bottom-up is mas alam ng lower managers. For example, mag-set kayo ng goals, di ba? Okay. Alam kasi ng bottom yung mga lower level managers natin kung anong nangyayari. So, they set realistic talaga kasi based on experience. Okay din naman yung top-down, pero the top managers kasi they cannot see the lower level, kung ano talaga yung nasa operations, ganun. So, pero ang ano naman doon, yung top down, kasi syempre, for ma-incorporate nila yung objectives nila, yung goals nila, tapos ikakascade na lang sa baba. Yun. So, which do you think is better in both? By the way, hindi ko to nilagay sa slide ko, wala rin sa modules ninyo, pero kasama yan sa quiz para at least alam ko kung nagbabasa talaga, nakikinig talaga kayo sinusulat niyo sa inyong mga notes. Okay. And the last one, finally, the last one is the contemporary issues in planning. Okay. So one contemporary planning issue is planning in dynamic environments, which usually means developing plans that are specific but flexible. Ano ibig sabihin ng dynamic? Okay, dynamic means ever-changing. Okay, mahirap ngayon kasi especially in marketing for example, yung mga marketing managers natin, ganyan, they have to be flexible kasi yung mga trends can easily change nowadays. Okay, ang dynamic means kailangan nag-change siya. Hindi na yung environment a year ago, siguro 1 month na, iba pa rin mag-iiba pa rin So, kailangan yung mga plans more flexible but specific. Also, it's important to continue planning even when the environment is highly uncertain. Of course. Okay? Kaya nga, planning is continuous class. Ang planning hindi lang ginagawa sa umpisa. Okay? Nagpaplano ka rin kahit during the event. Ganyan. For example, yun nga, yung kanina ko pa example na biglang umulan. Planning is actually what you do, di ba? Okay, or ganito ano pala, hindi ko magaling mic. Who will do this? That is planning, di ba? Ginagawa mo yan during the implementation. Finally, because there's little time in dynamic environment for goals and plans to flow down from the top, lower organizational levels should be allowed to set goals and develop plans. Yung bottom up na sinasabi ko, and collaborative dapat. And another contemporary planning issue involves using environmental scanning to help do a better analysis of external environment. Example natin ng environmental scanning class is yung SWOT analysis, strength, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats. Meron din tayong PEST analysis, yung for the external environment naman, political, economic, sociocultural, and technological. So, ini-scan mo what are the factors that affect the business internally and externally. Okay. One form of environmental scanning, competitive intelligence, can be especially helpful in finding out what competitors are doing. Yan, totoo yung mga spy. For example, merong spy ang smart sa globe, ganyan. Organizations can gather business intelligence using a variety of digital tools to collect, analyze quantitative and qualitative data to support decision making. So, ano yung mga digital tools natin? Number 1, yung business intelligence, data that managers can use to make more effective strategic decisions. Okay. And yung digital tools natin, technology, systems, or software that allow the user to collect, visualize, understand, or analyze data. Actually, digital tools is very, very important now kasi puro virtual lahat, di ba? Hindi ka na makakakollect ngayon ng through questionnaire na survey pa kasi it's very dangerous. So, very important to. And lastly, yung digital tools natin, yung data visualization. Meron tayong parang nabasa ko na Tableau, yung pangalan ng company that provides software tools and interactive dashboards that allows users to generate useful business insights through the analysis and visualization of data. Okay. So next is cloud computing, refers to storing and accessing data on the internet rather than a computer's hard drive or a company's network. Sino sa inyong gumagamit ng Google Drive? Okay, ang Google Drive, although sa atin kasi yung account natin, Microsoft, ang tawag sa atin OneDrive, that is cloud computing. So whenever you save your documents, maganda na sinisave mo siya online para at least kahit wala kang phone, ganyan ma-access mo siya online sa kahit anong device. That is cloud computing. And of course, yung tinatawag nating Internet of Things allows everything to generate and store shared data across the internet. Okay, marami na talaga to. So, for example, sa Facebook, Instagram, etc., Very important yan. I think this is my last line. Any questions? So if you have questions, just comment down below or you can post it in our MS Teams. Yan. Thank you very much for listening. I hope you enjoyed this. And of course, yung last slide natin, I hope kahit pa paano na-inspire kayo. Okay? At syempre kung nahihirapan kayo, tiis lang, matatapos din yan. Tulad nga ng sabi ko. Okay? Kaya natin to. Fighting! Bye-bye! See you on the next video.